are listening to the No Invite Podcast.
Season 3.
The progression.
Follow us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast or look us up on YouTube at No Invite Podcast.
The best kept secret.
Man, y'all know what it is. No Invite Podcast, Season 3, The Progression, Episode 102. Take 2. Right?
Yeah.
Right? We literally just checked and we fucking up already. So episode 102, take 2. We actually did one. We shot one already, but we fucked up. Well, I fucked up. You know, players fuck up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Ended up messing up the audio. So we do have like a lost episode that's just probably going to stay in limbo because the audio quality is bad. My microphone picked up, but I don't know what it was about yours, but I fucked it up. And it's totally my fault because I literally feel like we wasted a whole fucking day or a piece of a day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could have been worse, right?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't complaining. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's still fucking, you know, it's a little irritating when you're trying to give consistency because that's something that we're trying to do for our following and our fans. And I know they're probably wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? Because we don't have nothing for them this week. Usually we drop on a Monday, Tuesday, or, you know, with the audio or whatnot. But, you know, we've been moving and grooving and shit happens, life happens, but we're still here for you people.
That's happened you know what I'm saying? Before to us as well. Remember, there were some real groovy things that we were talking about. And then I think that your computer just didn't save it.
Which one? On the last one we did?
There was like one maybe like a whiles back that we were recording and then it just didn't save. I think that the screensaver closed or something. And that was a lost one for sure.
That was a lost one for sure. And unfortunately, that's a part of the game when it comes to the podcast. And that's why I tell people don't expect perfection because you're going to be pulling your fucking hair out and running yourself ragged trying to get a perfect podcast. Sometimes you just got to roll with it. And when it's not good, just keep it moving. You know, you got to treat it like a speed bump.
How do you treat speed bumps?
I just run over them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? I'm a terrible driver. I'm a terrible human being. So I respect the law.
No, I learned last time that you only use the blinker lights accordingly to your standard. Right. The law standard.
You're right. I'm going to tell you like this, and we could rehash it because we literally it didn't even come out. So it's not like it's going to be something that whatever. But, now, when it comes to blinkers, I feel like I only feel like people need to use them when they're in my immediate like vicinity. You know, don't do a last minute turn into my lane and don't use your blinker because you're fucking gonna die basically eventually. But if you're hella far up and you're more than clear and got more than enough space, ain't no fucking need to use the goddamn blinker. It's cool. Just do it. Just shift. Another thing that's a fucking pet peeve though, I hate when people switch lanes hella slow. Now what you're doing is switching lanes hella slow. What the fuck you're doing is you're taking up 2 lanes for a while now. Because I can't get in the other lane because you're almost in that lane and you're in the lane that I'm in. So it's like, come on, bro.
Hey, tell me how you really feel though.
That's how I really feel inside. And that's what turns me into the Hulk and I start to rage. But we talked about that too.
So that's okay.
We talked about that too.
Going over really fast.
Yes. Let's not talk about my questionable driving habits. You know what I'm saying? I still got a couple points on my license. I'm trying to get taken off. But it is the No Invite Podcast. It is episode 102.
102. Say it confidently.
I'm gonna say it confidently. Now it's episode 102.
Hey, be in this bitch.
And we in this motherfucking thing. Shout out to everybody. Like I said, shout out to Britt. It was great having her on. I mean, we didn't give her props. We did, but obviously the episode never ain't gonna see the light of day because the shit was fucked up. But shout out to Brittany. You know what I'm saying? Our resident mental health specialist that we had on our last episode. Shout out to the best kept secret, globe trotting, moving and grooving, shaking and baking. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, but she's just not here right now. You feel me?
She's needed.
So, hey.
That's why.
She what?
she's needed somewhere else, you know?
I mean, she got to go where she got to go. I mean, look at Patty. She's off saving the fucking world. We're going to put Patty on a milk carton at this point. You know what I mean? We ain't had Patty on the podcast. I don't know how fucking long. Producer Patty's living her best life. So we can't, I mean, what can we do?
It's been a while. I think she was present during the 100th episode, but she wasn't. She was part of the studio audience for sure in the 100th episode, and she did chime in. But I'm talking about a real podcast where she talks that shit, and you know what I mean, like we do. You know what I mean? It's been a while, but I mean, that's life. You know what I mean? We're lucky right now that we're able to take the time out. You know, I know you got responsibilities. I have responsibilities, and we're lucky we're able to take the time out even just to do this and give the people what they want because they're seeking, you know, our guidance, our crooked, crusty hand on the wheel of their life. They need us in their ears.
They need it. That we are needed. You know what I'm saying? I could tell. So shout out everybody, you know what I mean, out there that keeps listening, continues to watch. And speaking of watching, finally we got the visual for the 100th episode. How do you feel about that? Let me get your opinion. For someone that wasn't there, so you had to actually experience it, you know, from, you know what I mean?
I am thoroughly impressed, honestly. And the wait was worth it, right? Like the wait was so worth it, in my opinion. Seeing the facial
expression. It's always worth it. You feel me? The wait is always worth it.
I don't know about that.
When it comes to us, I mean, when it comes to the podcast, I can't talk about nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the podcast. Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah.
that 100th episode wait was the real build-up, huh?
That was. It built up until I shot it all out there for YouTube for your enjoyment.
Put it out.
I hope it landed right where you wanted it to land. It just didn't land when I wanted it to land. You feel me?
It never happens when you want it to, though. So
it never does. Excuse me, this doesn't happen to me all the time. You know? So. No,
it was legit. I was so happy, and the angles and like the way you guys, the whole setup was really good. So I'm proud of you guys. I want to do more of that.
We're definitely going to do some more visuals. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to establish a consistency thing. Shout out to 34 Filmz. He did his shit on there. He put a funny twist on a lot of the editing. So I definitely got to give him a lot of props for that. I also got to give the shop and Barrier Exotics a lot of thanks for allowing us to do everything that we did, you know what I mean, at their location. They hosted us. They were very friendly, and it was a dope environment. I mean, you could hear from the studio audience, everybody was feeling it. Everybody had something to say, and I like that. I like that energy, to be honest with you. It's something about having a podcast with people in here. It's always good times, but it's a different thing when you have a studio audience and you got people that are fucking commenting in the background and laughing, and you know, it just gives it a different energy.
I said that part for sure, like the whole commenting and hearing what they say, like, because I know sometimes when I would listen, you know, whether you were with whoever, I'm giving my point of view while I'm listening, and then so with the video we were able to hear what other people, you know, and even you too, I heard you like chime in on some of the answers and stuff, hearing your point of view on the questions. That was good.
Yeah, and I wanted to do that because it wasn't a lot of questions and it wasn't a lot of contestants, so I felt like I had to chime in a little bit just to give my perspective. I'm also a man, and you know, let's keep it funky. A lot of times y'all, you know, vaginal, whatever they call it, cyst women or whatever, y'all fucking y'all like to double team on me like I ain't a dude. I'm like, hold on, just because I agree with some of y'all shit, that's not going to change like how I feel about certain things. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Dan was like, you're just riding with him because the testosterone. I'm like, man, it ain't got nothing to do with it. I am a man first before anything. And there's just certain things that I'm going to agree with no matter what. You know what I mean? And it ain't because it's him or whoever. It's just, that's just how I feel. It's going to be my stance.
The question that he had answered and that I didn't like, and then, you know, that with like the whole licking of the face and what would you do? And then Britt was even like, well, it shows that he's committed to something, you know, so that's good. And I was still kind of not, I don't know. And then I told my husband the question, right? He's like, well, I mean, like, what if they were like setting a record? And I was like, oh, damn. So you wouldn't get up either, huh? Like, this is like a census around the board with these guys. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I mean, think of it like this. You're
I'm
fucking
still stuck on that fucking question. How many weeks has it been?
Well, sorry to say that, it just is what it is sometimes. I mean, it's not even, it was like, to me, when it comes to that question, it's just about, like, I don't know. It's just, we're just dudes. We just don't, when it comes to that type of shit, like, it's just like, I'm doing something right now. Now, if it depends on what it is and how. See, if she would have came and she'd have licked something else, then by you know what I mean. By the consensus, I could tell anybody that's something you can multitask. You feel me? I can still stay on the game and you could do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, no.
That's a challenge.
It's a compromise. It's called compromise. Okay. And he said, and it is not like he was gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna play for fucking 5 hours straight, and then I'm going to bed afterwards, and you're just gonna leave you with nothing. Like, nah, he said he's gonna do what he do. So I mean, I agree with that. Like, yo, let me finish what I'm doing. And I highly doubt that you're gonna be. I know that you're in the mood at the moment, but I highly doubt that me coming back, huh?
It's gonna go away, like he said. He was like, it's not gonna go away.
Nah, it ain't going nowhere. But yeah, the 100th episode was dope. Everybody was really, really good. Everybody, I appreciate the team effort. Shout out to producer Tony, producer Patty pulled up. We had, like I said, 34 Filmz, The Shop, Barry Exotics. Everybody, thank you guys so much for making it possible. The 100th episode was a thing. Shout out to Dre Guru as well. Thank you for being a willing participant in our madness. You know what I mean? And, hey, good times, I'm assuming, followed after that. I mean, shit don't happen by mistake. You know what I mean? God, or whatever it is that you pray to up there in the universe and you know what I mean? It didn't just let this happen for no reason. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
That's right. Woo! I'm about to put the sound effects on that. But yeah, I mean, how was your week so far? How's your 2 weeks been? Because obviously they ain't heard from you in 2 weeks.
Man, honestly, these past couple of weeks have been super duper intense, and I am so grateful they are over.
I know you just recently had a pop-up event. How did that go?
That was, I got really drunk, actually.
That's going to be the first one, right? I don't think I've seen you. The ones that I've been to, I don't think I've seen you drinking. I think you were just chilling.
Are you serious? No, you're joking, obviously. I'm so sorry. No. I usually use these pop-up vendor events as a moment to camaraderie, I think is the word, right? Like really just enjoy the company.
Camaraderie, yeah.
Yeah, camaraderie, however you say that there. So I use that as that. And one of my friends came through this time and shots were taken.
Shots were flying. The shit was hitting the fan, apparently.
Yeah, I was not mad at it. And I made a lot of new contacts. And that right there makes me so happy. Like, I think the following goes underrated, maybe. Like, sometimes people are like all about sales, and sales are great for sure. Don't get me wrong. But I love the idea that my art is on somebody else's screen. Like, as far as their newsfeed, like me posting things and stuff. And so when people follow me on Instagram, shout out Totally Tie-Dyed Designs.
Yeah, shamelessly plug your shit. It's good.
For sure. Go follow me, guys, because I really do appreciate it. And I was able to meet some dope ass people. That's another of my favorite parts is meeting all the new people and things. And we've already got another one planned. So I'm really excited. These vendor events just keep getting better and better. And that's what the fuck it's about, right?
Mm-hmm. It's all about that. And we said it a lot of times, like a lot of people underestimate the power of networking. One person could introduce you to one person that can introduce you to somebody that might just change the game. You know what I mean? It might just give you an opportunity or take you to another level or put you in another circle that you were probably not able to reach. Now, I'm not saying ever, but as fast as you would by networking. You know, shout out to you, the Boss Bay Pop-Ups. I appreciate that. I wasn't able to make it, but I heard it was a success. And the fact that you got sloshed, you know what I'm saying, makes me want to make sure I show up to the next one so I could get drunk too. But yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I seen it. I mean, I was watching. I was paying attention. I just wasn't able to make it. But I'm glad that you guys had a lot of success. That's what it's all about. You know, good times, good people, and, you know, good networks and connections. So what else? What else is up? You know what I mean? What's been going on in the world of Hot Mama?
Well, you know that today is like World Mental Health Day, and like super duper. You didn't know? Well, now you know. Well, now you know.
You don't know. Well, now you know.
So yeah, today is Mental Health Day. World Mental Health Day. And I think it's super duper important to bring awareness to mental health. And I think that our girl Britt would agree with us, don't you think?
I definitely think that. And I'm sure that she's out there doing her part, because I know one thing for sure, that she is just not just talking about it. Mm-hmm. And we've been in very much contact, you know, throughout these past couple weeks, and she is going to start having a regular, I guess, maybe like appearance on the podcast, maybe like twice a month. We want to try to work it out where she's going to have her own segments, and we're going to do a lot of analysis when it comes to not only just our own broken and shattered lives, but but also like things in the social media and pop culture world. You know what I mean? Like, you know, get her opinion. Like, we could ask her about Kanye, you know what I mean? And not that I give a fuck or two shits, but what, you know, just the kind of mind state that somebody could be in, or, you know, what do you think is causing the root of his issues, or things like that, you know, just to give people perspective. A lot of times we live in this, you know, this social media world now where it's like, it's hard to tell if somebody's really going through something or they're just fucking doing it for show, you know? It's a terrible thing to say that, because, you know, as mental health goes, you're not really supposed to be doubting people or downplaying what they do. But let's be clear, just like anything else that's relevant and important, people use that on social media to get clout and notoriety for themselves, and will exploit that. You know, like we've seen and it's not just mental health, even, you know, but people do that. You know, now that mental health is more of a forefront and more in the forefront, and people talk about it more, and it's you know, starting to lose some of the stigma. Mm-hmm. People now like are you know, oh, I'm taking a day off, I'm having a mental health issue day, you know what I mean? And they'll do that, and there won't be nothing wrong. They want to go to a fucking football game or something. And it's just like, yo,
mental health day.
It is a mental health day, but if there's nothing really wrong with you, I mean, you could have said something else. You could just call it old-fashioned sick, like, hey, I don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why I say that it's why that's not cool, in my opinion, is because you know, you cheapen it. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? You make it to where people are just like, fuck, this motherfucker's lying. Now, do I believe the next person that's really fucking going through it now? Do I really get, you know what I mean? It kind of takes away from the actual credibility of it, in a sense, you know, which is what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed, when someone says, hey, you know what I mean, having a mental health issue, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a fucking breakdown, you're not supposed to question them about it. But when people use it and exploit it, then it's like, you know, I mean, naturally, that's what you kind of do now. You're like, yo, is this motherfucker lying? Is he fronting? Is it this? So I don't really agree with that shit at all. You know what I mean? It's not something. It's like somebody's mama. It's not something you're supposed to toy with, or somebody's kid. You're not supposed to play with that shit. You dig what I'm saying? And it depends on who you are. I mean, and whose mama it is. But I'm just saying, though. You know what I'm saying?
I like to play with.
I mean, there's a lot of hot mamas out there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, though? But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so no.
Like how it loses its kind of like credibility, like you said, you know, like you don't want to, it's like the boy who cried wolf, you know, like how many times you gonna believe it? Like, but I don't know. I was thinking about that Kanye thing. Like, I know, I mean, sure, you don't give a fuck about it, but I think that like it's like, I never even thought of maybe he would be doing this for clout. Like, maybe I'm just so naive sometimes that I just I just always think so positively about others, you know? And so I don't think like, oh, maybe it could be, you know, him just doing this or that for the clout. But man, if that guy that's kind of fucked up.
Well, he's a master manipulator, and I want you to always pay attention, because to me, as being somebody that's been a lot of places and been around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I've always been very observant, and you start to notice people's patterns, because everybody got a pattern. You start to see how they move, how they function. Every time this dude gets in the forefront of the media, it's for exploitation of himself. He is like exactly like the Kardashians, whether he says he isn't or he's not. He's exactly the same way. He exploits his own issues, his own whatever it is that he's going through at the right times. He doesn't do it all the time. He'll be quiet for a while. Notice after the election and he didn't have an album to push, or he wasn't doing shows, he was real quiet. Now all of a sudden he got all these issues and all this stuff again, and he's fired back up and he's all in the media. So now I'm thinking, okay, something's going to drop. He's going to have a new deal. He's going to have an album. Apparently he has a documentary coming. So, I mean, go figure, you know. He is one of the people that learned early about clout and manipulation of the masses. Now, even if he is mentally unwell, he's sharp enough to know what he's doing, and he's going to exploit it. Just kind of like how we had the whole conversation on the 100th episode about the Kardashians and how they keep exploiting the same fucking sex tape in different ways and finding different ways. It's already something out there. They're just like finding new ways to fucking, you know, skin a cat, basically. You know what I mean? They're finding, you know, and it doesn't bother them because it's not a secret. It's something that's already out there. So they're like, fuck it. How else can we benefit from this?
You know, side note, I had to go and rewatch that video after you guys mentioned it. I was like, what's this weak ass head and talking about? I need to see what she's talking. And I looked and I was like, oh yeah, that's so weak ass.
Terrible. The most trashiest head. That head, I'm not going to say it looked forced.
Record it.
I don't know. Well, you know, that's the whole thing. That's what they were talking about. They were saying that the mom was pushing for her to do a sex tape because they were trying to get, at the time, Kim Kardashian to be in the forefront like a Paris Hilton. And how did Paris Hilton really get on?
Because of her one night in Paris or whatever.
A night in Paris. Now, don't get me wrong. She was, you know, like celebrity famous in a sense, like, you know, she was known in Hollywood and she's an heiress and she was in all the little circles. But how did she get into that pop status stratosphere type thing? She had the sex tape. So what did the Kardashians do? They fucking copied her playbook. Mm-hmm. Because before Kim was just known as her little buddy, her little sidekick friend. And they were trying to get her out of that. They were trying to get her into the forefront and trying to get her into her own shit. So, like I said, the whole basis of...
show out then? If she knew she was going to be recorded and this was their play, like, why wouldn't she... Anywho, that's a whole ass other story. I'm sorry.
Because honestly, like I said, I'm not going to say that it was forced, but it probably wasn't the route she wanted to go. You know what I mean? But she was like, this is obvious. Like, think of it like this. Somebody tells you, hey, you got to do a certain thing to get to that next level that you want to do. Maybe it's not a certain, and I'm going to talk my head. I'm just saying, maybe it's a certain thing that you don't want to do. You feel what I'm saying? But you're like, fuck it. This is what I got to do to get to this point. You know, I don't know. I'm just not for lazy head, period. Like if you're going to give head, be enthusiastic about it. Just don't give it at all. You know what I mean?
I agree 100%. There's this podcast I'm going to plug real fast. Okay, you guys, it's called Call Her Daddy. And there's this episode. Oh my God. I like to give head before, but after listening to that episode, I forget which number it is, but it's like called like Gluck Gluck 3000 or something. The episode's called. And after I fucking listened to that, and then I tried some of the techniques that they were talking about, I was like, interesting. I never knew that I could enjoy this as much as they do. And I don't know if you guys want to improve your head game.
That's just giving, you know what I'm saying, head classes.
No classes. Maybe tutorials. I could do some like video tutorials maybe, but like, no, this podcast. This podcast is what I was trying to plug more than anything. Anywho, not plugging any other podcast but our own.
But no, podcasts.
I do want to encourage. Go ahead though, and that's why I want to put that other podcast out there, because it's important that bitches aren't out there just giving some fucking mediocre head, you know?
Exactly, and what better time to endorse great head than on Mental Health Day? You know what I'm saying? So
it's definitely something
that's a stress reliever. It can make your partner, you know what I'm saying, feel better. You know what I'm saying? So
ask you actually what you do to like help your mental health. Maybe busting it, that's probably one, but I mean, on another note.
Well, it's funny that you say that though, because I sent a clip to that's how we share information. We send clips to each other about possible topics on the podcast, and we had a topic from the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about post-nut clarity, and there's a lot of different names for it, but basically what they were saying is that guys, there's us before we nut, and then there's us after we nut. You feel what I'm saying? And he was saying basically you could tell if a guy could really tell if he likes a girl or if he don't after he nuts. Because after he nuts, he's gonna be like, this was the shit, he's gonna be more into the girl, or he's gonna be like, yo, fuck, I regret this shit. Like no, hurry up and leave. Like, get the fuck out, or I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? That post nut clarity is a motherfucker. And I'm here to tell you that shit's real. 9 out of 10 men will tell you that shit's real as fuck, because if you really like somebody, and you know after you nut.
So John, because I never even, I guess because I'm not a guy, maybe that's why I did.
I think it's only a guy thing to keep it 1,000 with you, though. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's only a guy.
Another guy for sure.
You don't got to ask the guys. You got to ask girls is what you got to do. Because like I said, 9 out of 10 guys is going to tell you it's real.
Really?
I promise you.
I guess
that's the thing.
Oh, guys must like me then, because no, just joking. I'm like, I don't know what it feels like to be left on red. No.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying though. But that I think also a lot of it has to do about the circumstances that you're in though too, and also like if the head's trash or the sex is trash, then you're just like that. That's just another thing that adds to it. It's like a lot of times, like I keep it 1,000 with you, like. Men, obviously, they think with both heads. Sometimes the little one, trumps the big one sometimes, but...
Which one's the little one again? No, I'm just kidding.
Depends on what angle you're looking at, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? I think it's, to be honest with you, they were saying something like, I really think it's like a primal thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, before religion and before all the other shit, men were just like, it was for procreation. And just like in the wild, they're procreating with more than one female. You dig what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of like a thing that's built in men. Now I could be wrong, and I could be super sexist about this. For all I know, I don't know. I'm not no fucking expert. We could ask our resident, mental health expert. That might be something we put on the checklist. Write that shit down. But I think it's just like, if you're really into that person and the sex is really great, then the post-nut clarity is just going to confirm what you already know. If you kind of just know, you kind of have a feeling like, I just want to fuck this bitch, or I just want to get a nut off or whatever. Like, you'll know that walking into that too. And you'll kind of probably be like, you know what? I'm not like sticking around. You know what I mean? Speedy Gonzalez. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's a thing though. We're gonna have to dive deeper with like Ann and Brittany on this one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got to get another dude in here to back me up, because y'all I already know.
I think I need another dude's perspective, because this is just your scumbag ass.
You need two dudes' perspectives. Nah, but you know what I mean? Like, I am a scumbag, and you know what? I could be dead ass wrong. There could be some super square ass,
what if people
lover boy ass motherfucker that's like, no, never. I never feel that way. I love you to death. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? I could just be a dirtbag and just have shit morals for all I know.
You know what? That's starting to be like questionable.
You know what? We're not here to discuss who I am and who I'm not. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, other shit right now.
Clarity.
That post-nut clarity thing is true. We're gonna have to put a pin in that. We're gonna revisit that topic because, like I said, I need at least one expert, because it might just be like some kind of psychosis or something. It could be like a fucking condition. Like, we don't fucking know. Like, men are, I mean, let's face it, you know what I mean? I don't think when it comes to sex and sexuality and shit like that, no one ever really, unless you're fucking, you know, your parents are psychologists, and even then, who the fuck knows? It's like, you don't know what the fuck. I mean, we know we have like certain things, obviously, morals or something, like when it comes to like what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and when it comes to sex and shit like that. But it's like, you know, there's all these little nuances and things in between. It's like, you know, like, I might be a creep, but I mean, it's perfectly normal what I do, you know, what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's just certain things we know already from the gate that's not cool. And, you know, like I said, I don't know. You know, post-nut clarity could just be an excuse for all we fucking know. You know, it just could be ingrained in us and passed down from generations. You dig what I'm saying? Who the fuck knows? Like, but it's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic, and we're gonna go ahead and stop talking about that right now. And we're going to jump into the next thing that we were saying. I know you heard, you threw it in the chat. How do you feel about Biden saying that he's going to pardon people with marijuana convictions and, you know, start taking the steps to legalizing everything? Or legalizing it federally?
I don't know. I think that, like, obviously, I think it's a good thing, but like, I think it needs to be more than just federally. Like, I think that needs to start from the inside and then go up, you know, because if it's state-wise legal, you know what I mean, to smoke and to buy weed and stuff, then like, I think statewide it should be legal. I mean, like, possession things should be not illegal as well, you know, because right now it's just a federal thing. So just federal, like federal prisons are affected by this, but not the state ones.
No, you're right. But also what it is, though, is let me give you like a little example. We're going to take you to law school real quick.
Do it.
Well, you wanted to go federal because federal, then after that, at least you know that, you know, usually states follow suit. You know, a state really doesn't have the individually the power to change anything on a federal level. But when it's changed on a federal level, that gives it more flexibility to the states to make up their and choose. You know, it makes it easier for them to go legit because now they have really no work. They really have no excuse. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you wanted to go. It does. He said marijuana convictions across the board. I didn't think he said just federal. I think he just said across the board, period. Because once he does stop it federally, yeah, it's still up to the states to make laws, but we got like a third of the states already either in medical or recreational already. Mm-hmm. So they're really they're asking for it without asking for it because they really, like I said, the states can't change federal law. They could only change state law. Mm-hmm. So if the federal government was to be like, okay, we're reclassifying marijuana, it's no longer this, it's no longer that, it's going to overturn a lot of those people that were, you know, selling big shit, but it's also going to help convince the state governments that, okay, it's okay. We could do this. We could do this. It's all right now. You know what I mean? And it might even open up some things where it even open up programs and other things to help people that have been affected by this because right now, federally, marijuana is classified just like heroin is.
Yeah, which is
so if you get caught with like, let's say, transportation of, you know, 10 pounds and they hit you with a Fed charge, you're looking at a lot of time. You know, my thing.
Though, if you like, I don't think that this law is going to change like large sums like that moving. I think it's like small possessions or like, I don't know. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research, maybe. But do you know exactly? Because it's kind of broad, I feel like, what he's saying, no?
It is broad, but it has to be broad because he's talking federally. He's not talking about a state. He's talking about federally, and he's talking about like a lot of the reasons why a lot of states haven't gone rec is because of that. Because, you know, federally it's still a crime and it's still going to be a lot of fucking things. I was talking to somebody in Arizona, and they were telling us basically they're legit and they have a lot of brands, legitimate brands from California and Arizona. The problem is, since it's still illegal federally, they have to grow out there and sell out there. They can't import, basically. Like, I can't get real Cali weed in Arizona.
No.
Unless you get it by some stupid, like, illegal means. You dig what I'm saying? So I can't go to the rec centers and buy it. So basically, it's a lot of hindrance. It's a lot of red tape, and it stops progress, and it affects people regardless. Like, look at the amount of people that are being affected by these federal laws when it comes to weed. I mean, prior to California going medical and then eventually recreational, a lot of people were getting incarcerated for like stupid shit, like an ounce of fucking bud. You feel me? Like stupid, like nonsense. And I could tell you right now, I'm one of the people that's been affected by this, because my first conviction ever as a juvenile, I got caught with 5 bags of weed at school, and I didn't get no treatment. I got probation, but also got time with that. You know, I did 6 months in juvenile hall for 5 bags of weed. They set me back 6 months in my education, in my life, at an early age. I ended up being on probation, which I was never able to get off of until I turned, and literally I went from probation, I was convicted at 16, probation, stayed on probation for 2 years. What's it called? Got arrested again at 18 because I was no longer reporting, because I thought I was off probation. I didn't report no more because I didn't know how that worked. I thought as soon as I turned 18, it was over. I could just go do what I wanted. So I didn't really have to report. And then I wound up in the system as an adult because of it. So literally a couple of grams of weed, which was five bags, probably was like maybe 6 grams at the most of Bammer at that. So I'm ashamed of that already. It's already a fucked up thing. But imagine that though. Like,
what we had then, like I think that's the best that we could do.
That is the best we could do. But either way, whether it was good weed or bad weed, they still give me the fucking time for it, regardless.
And the 5 grams, or even like, because I imagine like the little 10 sack bags or something. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was.
Those little bags.
Now imagine that 6 months. You know, as a sophomore in high school, you get 6 months in jail. 6 months, that's pretty much your sophomore year. I got expelled too at that. I was never offered treatment. Was never a treat for weed though. Yeah. To me, that's ridiculous, right? Yeah. And because of that, I ended up in county jail as an adult. So, you know what I mean? The whole stigma in California is slowly melting away, because you're seeing it on billboards, you're seeing it here, it's on TV, it's no longer being looked at like it's crazy, but it's still a federal offense. You can still catch 10s upon 20 years of time for this shit.
And that's just crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like it ain't gonna say it's too little too late, because we're not even there yet. You know what I mean? It would be too late as if shit started to regress. But we're moving in a positive direction, and I'm hoping that Biden gets the wheels rolling, because there's no saying that he's going to be here in 2 years. We're getting close to the midterm elections. They're going to start doing. There's going to be a lot of changeover, because that's just what it is. And who the fuck knows if we're going to, you know, he'll be here to, you know, do what he said he's going to do. He might just be saying it because it's the midterms, you know. So until we start seeing action and we start seeing things happen now, it's you know, it's just talk.
That's what I was thinking too, is that it's just kind of like, that's real nice. Sure, that's a real nice thought, you know, but let's see something from it, you know? I don't know. Yeah,
they got to definitely show us more. At the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's weed. It's legal. They've shown. What I want to see when they legalize it, this is honestly, honest to God, I want to see this. And it's going to sound stupid. People are going to probably be like, oh, they're going to talk shit. But I want to see some kind of reparation program set up. All the taxes and money.
I was thinking the same actually before you said it. Go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah. I want to see some kind of reparations program set up for those that have been convicted, whose families have been affected by it. Even if you're not, what's it called? Like, even if you're not currently incarcerated, or I want to see something. Like, I don't give a fuck. A lump sum, give them, whatever, some equity inside the cannabis industry, some stocks in cannabis fucking companies. Because to be honest with you, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's stupid, and people did some dumb shit to do it. So look, this is what we're gonna do.
Is that repo coming for your car?
Fuck no, I pay all my shit. You got me fucked up. I pay all my shit. That's why I had to look. I'm like, who the fuck getting this shit tampered with? You feel me?
No, I'm joking. I just tease, I promise. I heard that. I wasn't sure if it was my house. There's always shenanigans everywhere. Like,
that's crazy out here.
Yeah.
But look, I appreciate you. We're gonna keep it short and wonderful. Best fucking 30 seconds of your life, or 30 minutes. So look, it's the Knowing Vibe podcast. This is episode 102. I am Blaze One Diz. You are Hot Mama. Where can they find you at?
Go follow my tie-dye on Instagram at totally.tie-dyed.designs.
Now, are we accurate about that?
Stop. Didn't I sound confident?
I hope so. Say it like you mean it.
No.
Say it like you mean it. All right. And you already know what it is. I'm Blaze One Diz. You can find us at no_invite_podcast. You could also go to our YouTube channel at RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films with a Z. Subscribe, slander us. I don't give a fuck. Go watch the 100th episode. It's hilarious. You get to see our face. If you haven't already know what we look like, you get to see it in high definition, 4K quality. And we got more to come. I just wanted to make sure that we tapped in and give the audience what they want, what they need, and just a little bit of perspective, a little bit of vibes. You feel me? Hot Mama, I appreciate you for taking the time out. I know you're busy off doing what you do, being a mama, you dig? And tying and dyeing and all that other good shit. With that being said, this is the Knowing Vibe podcast. Y'all stay blessed and we out.